Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
Hi. Hey.
What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name.
DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
Oh, happy Wednesday. Welcome back, everybody. How y'all doing? If you can't tell, I had a minor injury at work. Caused me to have a little bit of a sprain, so I got to wear a freaking sling around. If you do know, you've seen it happen last week. But it is what it is. Anyway, sorry I had to make sure I get all my good people to tune in with us today while we talk. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back. Today's show is a bit of a part of it is just things that I've been asked to talk about. Mostly it's really just things that I've been asked to talk about. The venting part is just people coming to me about certain things and, me kind of relating to my personal life with theirs to try to get a better idea as kind of where they come from. But for the most part, we'll get into the show and get it going. As y'all know, like I got to do it every single week. I do start off by doing my week in review, how the week went, things that happened. Now, my week has been great. Okay, it's been a pretty decent week, pretty productive. I got a lot done, not enough done, but a lot. I was able to, honestly, man, I'm not gonna lie, this whole, every time I always forget how the babies are, I used to forget how little ones, how infants, newborns can be. Honestly, my son sleeps all day, and I don't like it, but I know he has to. It irritates me because I want to play. And when I do catch him up, I stay in his face and I make sure I play with him till he falls back. He literally falls asleep to me in his face. That's how it happens. So everything with him is going great. He just turned a month on the 8th. So, whoop whoop, shout out to that, gang gang. Everything's good for him. He's healthy. He's great, good to go. Definitely a daddy's boy already. You know what I mean? I don't got to say nothing to nobody, but y'all already know. Y'all already know how it is with these kiddos. They always choose to be team dad. Because of the kind of father I am. And I am patting myself on the back right there because I'm one hell of a father. So other than that, in the personal life with situations in the day-to-day, everything's been going great. I've been able to get so much done. I've been able to create, better schedules and plans with little things that I want to do, even if it's just for the home. Like this last week, I did a lot to take care of the house, whether it was just to go buy new shit that we needed or I needed in there. Whether I needed new trash bags or I needed, I don't know, fucking vacuum or iron, whatever the case may have been. I got a lot of stuff done with the household. Just say, like, being an adult, man, this shit is just, it's cool for the most part, but, if they gave me the option to be a teen again and live with my parents and not have to worry about it all, as long as I had a decent curfew around, like, 1, maybe 2, I would do it. I'm over this shit. It's a lot. It's a lot. But, I mean, it is what it is. Like, I love the fact that I'm able to take care of things and pay bills. I love that I'm able to get things done in a timely manner and just handle my shit. You know what I mean? Like, I do. Very grateful that I'm able to get that done. With me saying that, part of the things that I want to talk about from the week is this conversation that keeps popping up, right? And the main conversation is, like, everyone is praising, and, again, nothing against women, but everyone's praising these women for being able to have their own car, having their own place, having a job, so on and so forth, which are like the basic necessities in life, right? I don't want to praise anybody, man or woman, for being an adult, for doing the simple things in life that they should be doing. All of the stuff that tends to be praised and brought up is things you have to do anyway. You have to be an adult. You have to have somewhere to stay. You have to have a car to get around. You have to have a job to pay for things you need, especially if you have little ones. So I'm kind of tired and over the whole, I'm putting this person up on the pedestal because they got the basics in life, because those are the bare necessities you need to get through life. So I'm not putting anybody on a pedestal for being able to say they have a job, they have a place to stay, they have a car. I'm proud and I'm glad that you're an adult. Thanks for being an adult, which you have to be anyway. So that kind of irritates me, and it was just irritating me because everyone threw that out there like that was the best thing that you could do when that's the standard on how to be an adult. Is to make sure you have your own transportation, your own roof over your head, and a job to take care of your food, necessities, things like that, rent, right? But instead, it's like, well, this person has a job and a car and their own place. Let's throw them a party. For what? Being an adult, doing things that you're supposed to be doing. Hey, teach his own, you know. It is what it is. Like, you feel like that should be celebrated? I don't feel like that should be celebrated. I feel like that's just a part of everyday life, so no reason to celebrate it. Now, I'm not saying that you as a person shouldn't celebrate you getting all those things, because it may have taken you a long time, or you may have worked hard to get there. That's what I'm not saying. I do understand somebody celebrating that they finally got their own place, or, you know, all of this good stuff going together. I get the celebration of it because it could have been a journey getting there. I get that part. But I'm not about to praise you and constantly put you on a pedestal week after week because you sat there and you're doing what every adult on this planet is supposed to be doing, which is taking care of themselves. So there is no empathy from me on that one, in no way, shape, or form. Just being honest. I just want to be honest on that. I don't expect anybody to throw me a birthday party or throw me a party or throw me any kind of celebration for me getting my shit together. I'm just being honest. It is what it is. Next, you know, I don't want to spend too much time on that one because, you know, it'll ruffle a lot of people's feathers. To the men, I hear y'all. And yes, you know, I've been through some things in my life, that situations where I get it. I completely understand. I completely get it. I completely understand. I see where y'all are coming from. Men are at this point where we're tired of mainly no accountability, right? The games, the manipulation, all of the lies and drama. We're kind of over it. We're tired of it, right? And you see a lot of men these days, and we're all choosing to be single. We choose to not, be in a relationship or date or this and that. And I get it. I get it. I see it. I've had conversations. I've gotten different stories. I get it and I see it. Men, we're tired of, giving our all or giving what we need to be given in a relationship, and the woman is never held accountable for what she needs to do on her end. I say that because it's always looked down upon or frowned upon when a man is going through regular life struggles, trying to get on his feet. But a woman is always sympathized or empathized with when she's going through with it. So, is it fair? Not really. Is it life? Because, we always tend to tend to the woman more than the man. It is. And I get it and I understand that. But that doesn't mean you have to beat a man down because he's struggling, right? You can easily avoid the conversation in general or just not talk about it. I like the old saying, like in Bambi, if you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all, right? So you don't have anything productive or nice to add to the conversation, just drop it. Walk away from it and leave it alone. Because obviously there's no need for you there if you can't uplift the conversation instead of tear somebody down. The last thing a person that's trying to get it all together wants to do is hear that they're not doing enough or they're not doing well when they're doing everything they can. They want to be able to understand and see that they have support in some way, shape, or form. Like I tell you all the time, it's my best friend for me. Like whenever I feel like I'm not doing good enough or I'm not doing well, my best friend is there to always remind me, like, hey, you on top of your shit. Like, stop letting your fucking insecurities and thoughts ruin you. Like, stop doing that. It's not healthy. And I've realized that, again, a lot of men don't have those people to go to. They don't have a best friend like I have. They don't have any women to go to and won't judge them based off of what they're talking about or what's going on. They only have women that will judge them regardless of what they say or how they feel. And it's crazy. I never knew that was true, but it is. If you just watched the show before, Let's Talk Love, they said something that I liked about, relationships and, and being in love and things like that. One thing I want to make a point to is we're in the generation of 2023 and we're searching for 90s love. And it's just not there anymore. Love has been, in a way, reinvented, and to a certain extent they kind of got new definitions for it now and new things of this, new things of that, and I really think love is just a lot more simple than that, right? I really do. I just think that it's something that makes you feel better, something that lifts you up, and something that will not harm you. Whatever the case y'all may say, again, I say it all the time, love doesn't hurt. Maybe a person and their actions hurt. You know what? Just to say that, I have a little example for y'all. So with all of my past relationships, it was always the actions that hurt me, not the love they claim to have. So I say that because I would say, well, they said they love me, but they hurt me. So yeah, it hurts, but love doesn't hurt. Love is the only thing that doesn't hurt. It makes you feel better and great. The actions that a person has done or taken hurt me, right? It was never because of me thinking, oh, well, they said they love me, so I'm hurting it. No. It was more so what they did to me and how they did it to me that caused me to feel like they hurt me. So it was never the love that they claim to have. It was always the actions that they took that hurt me. Always how they acted towards me. And man, I will say, like, I did that to myself. Like, I have this tendency of allowing people to have more control over my emotions or more control over my well-being than myself, because I want to look out for the next person. So if that means sacrificing something of myself or something I do to make this situation better, I wouldn't mind. I don't mind at all. But I had to realize that I couldn't be the only one sacrificing it. Like, I can't be the only one to sit up there and say, you know what? Monday is a bad night for the movies because all three of y'all work and I don't. As to where on the other way around, when it came to it, they'd be like, well, it sucks that, you know, we're all off and you got to work, Marquand, so you're going to have to catch the movie another time. But if the roles was reversed, I would have never done that to them. So it was more so of a pay attention to who you have around you. Pay attention to the type of crowd you have around you and the type of support and reassurance you claim to may have with these people. Some people kind of are in the back of it, claiming that they are supporting you, but also praying for your downfall. And it's crazy to know that. It's crazy to understand that you have these relationships with people, and as much as they fake it in your face, they're 10 times harder going to make sure you fall or you don't make it or you don't succeed. I think that's crazy, because you should all want each other to succeed. There's nobody that I have that I'm around that I don't want to be doing better. I don't care if you are doing better than me. Do better than you are doing better than me right now, and still do better than that. Like, I would love for you to go higher and higher and higher. I'm that one that when I see you reach the top, I'll hand another ladder to you to keep going. Like, keep going. You got this. But on the other end, I'm the one where when I get to the top, they take away the extra ladder because they want me to find a way to fly. It's like flight or fight. You know what I mean? And man, it's so weird to me how people can be these days. I get it that a lot of people aren't as genuine and don't have pure-hearted souls, and they're always looking out for the next person or to get over on the next person. But man, it is crazy how things have been getting. And for all of y'all to say that you need a relationship to make things better, I just don't see it. I've gained a lot more confidence, a lot more reassurance. I've gained a lot more, what is the word I'm looking for? Patience, by realizing that I don't need anybody else to confirm that I'm stable, confirm that I'm happy, confirm that I'm doing what I need to be doing. I don't need anyone to pretty much sit there and confirm that, oh, well, you know what? You know, today I've been having a shitty day, so let me see if I can make it better or they can make it better by doing this. I don't get it. I can't be a part of it. I grew out of that, right? I used to do stuff like that, but I grew out of it because I started to realize, like, you in control of all the shit that happens to you. You really are. Whether you know it or not, you are in control of everything that happens to you. Every decision you make is going on about your future, right? But for y'all to sit up here and keep saying that the relationship is what's going to keep you there, I don't like that. I don't like it at all. So why I say that is because I hear it too often. I hear it too frequently. And I hate that y'all are really thinking that that's going to be the Hail Mary solution to every problem you have alone. So I do have a video that kind of better explains it on what I mean by, I think some of us are better off alone. Like, honestly, I say this all the time. You have basketball, you have football, you have baseball. You have coaches and you have players. I feel like some of us need to take that into consideration with relationships. Sometimes we are coaches. We are not meant to play. We are just meant to sit on the sideline and tell them how to make the next move better, how to make the next play better, and how to get through it. So I don't agree with that whole thing that I need a relationship and that's what's going to make me happy, because without you making yourself happy, the relationship ain't going to do nothing for you either. So go ahead and just listen to this for a second here.
You know what's crazy? I can finally say for myself, I don't want a relationship anymore. I'm happy being alone. I'm okay with coming back home to myself every day, going to work every day. I ain't losing sleep, staying up on the phone with nobody. I ain't got to worry about providing for a female, because some of y'all females ain't worth providing for. Because you don't give back to the man that's working his ass off to pay the bills or give you what the fuck you want. While you getting your nails done, he's cutting his fucking hands, getting calloused and shit on them. You know what I mean? It makes no sense, because you got to be worthy of a good man. You got to be worthy of someone who's willing to break his fucking back to give you everything he never had. Okay? So, I'm content with being alone. It's fucking crazy how some of y'all strive and kill yourselves over relationships that are not worth it. Don't
Not
do
worth it at all.
It's not fucking worth it. Find yourself first. That's all that matters.
And I love that he said that. It's like everybody's so in a rush. Everybody's so in a rush to want to find that somebody to make them happy, like somebody's going to make you happy. And without finding yourself, you will never find that happiness you're looking for. You'll find a facade of happiness that fades away after a short time period. You know what I mean? You'll find something that looks like happiness, but it's not really there. Another thing I like about this whole conversation is that, fellas, don't feel bad because you want a woman to show you that she's capable of being a wife. Don't feel bad at all. Here's what I say to that. A woman will tell you anytime that you need to pay bills, you need to do this, you need to do that, because they want you to show them that you're capable of being that person for them, right? And then they'll throw in your face and say how, you know, they know you'll make a good husband because you've done everything you've done everything that they've asked you to show you to be a husband. Yet when you say something like, I want a sandwich at 3 a.m, you know, or anything like that, it becomes an issue, because you're telling her, well, why would I make you a wife and you're not even showing me that you can be a wife? They like to say, well, you need to put a ring on it first. Why? I've never gotten a job without going to an interview first. Even if it was an on-the-spot interview, I still did some kind of interview. I never got the job without just doing some kind of interview. I say that because we have to showcase why we would make good husbands. But we are supposed to just put faith that you'll be a good wife and get you a ring and hope that that's the case. Take it from me. It doesn't work that way. And I'm talking from personal experiences. It doesn't work that way. I thought that same thing. Getting a ring will just solve it all. And it didn't at all. I kid you not. It made it worse, if anything. It made it worse. Because then those people feel like now you're tied to them. And regardless of what happens, y'all have a connection that can't be severed. Which you can if you do the right things. But just take it from me. It doesn't work out that way. Make these women prove themselves that they are worthy to be married. Make sure that she's going to be a good mother. Make sure that she does know how to cook, you know, and clean. Granted that I say everybody should do that, but still make sure that she can meet you halfway. Make sure that you're not one-sided in a situation. Like, make sure that you definitely have done everything you needed to do on your end to make sure that, you know, this is a great setup. I'm just telling you now. Like, you want to put them in the same positions they put us in. And it's not because they're not playing unfair. I think they're playing pretty fair. I think that them saying that I want you to show me the duties of a husband before I will accept a marriage, I think that's them playing the safe role. And stop letting them, you know, flip the reverse card on you when you ask them to do the same. Oh, but you need to make me a wife first. How? You wanted me to pay bills, take care of your kids, pay for your dinner, pay for your food, do all of that without being married. You wanted me to do all husband responsibilities without having that title. But I can't ask you without having a title to show me you're worth it. Show me you'll be there. Let me know that you're going to be my wife more than just another girlfriend. Because a lot of y'all want to be a girlfriend with the wife title. It just ain't fair. Not to the men at all. I'm being honest. Not fair at all. I just don't get it how y'all all assume that a woman can just get a ring and then she can showcase her talents versus a man has to do everything under the sun prior to before you'll even think about accepting his engagement. But hey, to each his own. I'm just saying that, men, it's time for y'all to even the playing field. Y'all are wondering why some of these women are treating you a certain way or acting a certain way to you. I can tell you why. Make her prove to you that she's worth the woman you're going to settle down with. I guarantee you right now, there's no woman that can cross my path without being able to show me that she's a great communicator. She knows how to comprehend rather than communicate all the time. There's no woman that can't show me that nothing about accountability. If you can't be accountable over, even if it's something small, I don't give a fuck if it was you dropping a penny and didn't realize it. There's no way that it should be that hard to be accountable. So yes, a lot of women, they don't last dealing with me. Not anymore. I'm not that kind-hearted Marquand that lets you run over him every other chance you get. I'm sorry, it doesn't happen anymore. Now I have standards and boundaries, and if you cross those, then you've crossed the line. And when you've crossed the line, unfortunately, you have to go. Simple as that. And it's just because I've seen what women do when I give them my all, when I give them everything about me, when I try to be the good man and the good guy, when I try to give them the benefit of the doubt, when I try to give them, and for lack of a better word, what's the word? Just a doubt, I guess, for lack of a better word. When I try to give doubt about situations, it's always proven wrong. And I've always witnessed and experienced that women will take the kind of love I have and run it into the dirt. And it's all good, right? Because I'm not putting up those boundaries and standards I should have been putting up. And that's why I've allowed it to happen thus far. But right now, this is the thing with it. Like, y'all women, whether y'all still dealing with y'all baby daddies, you know what I mean? Which is cool. Or y'all dealing with y'all exes, or y'all in a relationship. That's all cool. Like, it's all good to go. The problem comes is when you approach another man, or you let a man approach you, you're not honest about those things. Every woman I've dealt with or talked to or tried to talk to has always known I had a baby on the way, or known that I have a new baby, a fresh newborn, right? About a month old, as we just went over earlier in the show. I don't hide nothing because I have no reason to. Any woman in the past 4 to 5 months, or what are we in, July, 3 or 4 months, any woman that has ever dealt with me, they knew that my kid's mom was pregnant again. They knew I had another baby coming. I don't hide anything. I just have no reason for it. So when I'm dealing with someone, I expect the same. I expect nothing but honesty, right? And a lot of y'all will fake that like y'all finna leave y'all baby daddy, or y'all planning on breaking up with him, or y'all in a situation where you ain't got nowhere else to live right now. Whatever the case may be, the only fucked up thing about it is you're not being honest, because you'll never know what I'll agree to if you be honest with me. Because I guarantee you right now, if a woman came to me and said her and her baby daddy are on and off and they live together and they mess around, but she just wants somebody on the side, okay, you got it. I can work with that. Especially because I can work with that. You was honest with me. You told me what it was. You told me, let it be known. And you ain't never got to worry about no issues with me. Y'all ever heard about how I say, you think I'm new? Like, I've been a side nigga for 10 years. And she never had any issues out of it. That's me. There's some women that I won't put y'all out there, because that's messing up the game. Plus, y'all might decide to return to death row one day. You know what I mean? And I ain't trying to have none of that going on. I ain't trying to have y'all feeling like I done ratted y'all out. But I've been in situations before where that was the case. Sometimes they told me after it was too late. So it's like, well, you know what I mean? We already doing it. I guess I could continue. Depending on what it is, though, most of the time I walk away, because it's the honesty that gets me. You know what I mean? It's just like, you never know what I'll agree to if you don't be honest with me. That's anybody in the world. You'll never know what they'll agree to if you don't tell them the full truth. And for me, I be saying fuck y'all because of that reason, because I'm honest. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to tell you everything up front, because I don't want to hear that shit. You didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me that. I don't want to hear that shit. So I'm honest about it all. So when I get a slap in the face with lies being thrown in my face when I'm being honest, yeah, that puts a little bit of salt on my tongue. I feel a little salty now. I don't want to deal with that shit. So lately y'all say this and that, and you wonder why I don't get nobody my number or get nobody my attention. It's because y'all don't know how to be fucking honest. I'd rather fuck my sex toys or masturbate with my goddamn hens. Sometimes I'll sit on the left one till it gets numb and call it the stranger. You know what I mean? Like, but y'all have to sit up here and realize, like, stop letting women get away with things because they're good at manipulation. They're good at deflection. Women have mastered the art of deflection. So it's up to you to master it with them. And it's not to use it against them, but it's simply just to be prepared. So with that being said, every week I've decided to come here and give the gentleman some free game. Okay? This week's free game is... We've all been there where a woman has told us that she misses us, right? Or she misses me. Or she misses you. And most of the time, as a man, you'll say, oh, I miss you too. Or, or what do you miss about me? Don't do that anymore. In the future, when a woman says, I miss you, Say something like, oh, okay, well, why you ain't do nothing about it? They're gonna be crazy. Like, what do you mean do something about it? Well, it's easy. When you hungry, you eat, don't you? That's a valid statement to make. When you hungry, you eat. So when you miss me, why you not coming to see me? Or telling me you want to come see me or just come by? Why you not doing that? Oh, nobody want to talk about that one, huh? Yeah. So that's what you got to let them know. Instead of them saying, I miss you too, say, you miss me? Well, do something about it. Or why you ain't do nothing about it? Or, what you do when you hungry? You eat, right? So if you miss me, come see me. Put it in a way to make it seem like, well, if you miss me, prove it. Again, talk is cheap. Actions speak louder than words. So remember, gentlemen, every week I'll have some new lingo for you. Y'all can call it toxic if you want, but I'm just trying to help my brothers achieve what they need to achieve. That's all I'm trying to help y'all out with, fellas. That's it. And one more thing. This is one I like to say because it's said a lot, and I really, 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 really don't like it. I don't like it, but I have me, I got a great rebuttal for it all. I was told that something about being a dog. You know what I mean? And fellas, here's my advice to you. I fully want you to commit to being a dog. 100%. Because no matter what they may say, a dog is loyal when you treat them right. So hold them accountable for how they treat you. So if they feel like you being a dog, let them know, what are you doing to make me feel that way? What are you doing and not doing? Why am I being a dog to you? What is the reason behind it? Hold them accountable. Fuck that. Let them see, oh, well, I could have not been doing this, but you did this to cause that. And it's not about tit for tat. It's simply about the fact that women have to learn accountability one way or another. And this is a way we can help them do it. I'm not saying it's going to change overnight. It won't be built in a day like, Rome wasn't built in a day. But it's something that can get that accountability ball rolling. Because I'm not going to lie to y'all. Anytime I'm having a conversation with a woman and she dismisses the accountability, I shut the entire conversation down. I no longer want to talk about it now. Because you can't even admit to what you did wrong, so I don't want to hear none of the story, because at this point you'll just be pointing a finger. And just like everything else, when you point the finger, there's three of them pointing back at you. So I don't want to hear it. I always shut that shit down fast and in a hurry. So remember, fellas, let her call you a dog, because again, dogs are loyal when you treat them right. So hey, to each his own. But that is my little bit of advice for the fellas for this week. I'll have more again next week. Every week I'll come and say something. It's not crazy, but it's definitely needed to be talked about. All right, now that I done got that out the way, another thing that I want to talk about, kind of, and this is for men and women, and this is like really something that kind of is just like very serious to me in general. The word strong and resilient. I'd rather be called resilient, but I hate both, or I strongly dislike both. Here's the thing. When you are labeled as strong or resilient, I feel like people are telling me or praising me for how well I can take a punch. And I don't want to be praised at how well I can take a punch, because that means I'll never get support that I need. I'll never get reassurance. I'll never get backup. I'll never get any help, because everybody thinks I'm strong enough to handle whatever's thrown my way. I think that is just unfair. In so many ways. It doesn't matter if I am strong. It doesn't matter if I can take a hit or if I can't take a punch. I still need help. I am not out here to the point where I'm doing it all. Like I'm doing most of it here alone, but it's not by choice. That's what people fail to realize. I'm not doing this because I choose to. I'm doing this because I feel like I have no other choice but to. Does that make sense to y'all? I feel like that I've been labeled strong for so long that I can't reach out and ask for help like I want to, because anytime I do reach out and ask for help, people are like, oh, no, you got it. You'll figure it out. And like, granted, I'm glad you guys have that confidence in me, but it's like, what do you think I'm doing here talking to you or trying to get help with you? I'm trying to figure it out. So you telling me I'll figure it out is like telling me, oh, fuck it, you'll find something else, or go find somewhere else, or find someone else. And it's crazy because I would never do that to anyone. And I guess that's part of me being the strong one. I would never do that to anyone. But I get tired of telling people Or I get tired of people telling me I'm strong and I got this. Because, no, I need people too. I need a hug from time to time. You never know, man. A hug can change a lot. Like, there was one time another grown man gave me a hug with a lot of shit going on, man. We had this group where it was just men coming together. We were just talking. This was back when I first, back in 2021 when I had first got married. It was like a men's group, a men's marriage group. And, another grown-ass man gave me a hug, and it made me tears bust out of my eyes, man, from just a hug. That was crazy because I was going through so fucking much. So you never know. But sometimes I need a hug. I need somebody to check on me sometimes. I need reassurance that I'm doing my stuff sometimes as well. Like, y'all definitely got to stop treating a strong person like we not human. I hurt and I feel just like everybody else. I just handle it differently. And I love the end of that. I just handle it differently. Like, it's okay, and I get it that y'all just trying to say, like, you got it, you'll be strong, you'll be this, but you constantly reminding me that I don't need help, or I cannot get help when I want it. So you're constantly pushing the mental issues I do have, or the things that I do have going on. They're becoming bigger because everybody feels like I can handle them. But if I felt like I can handle them, I wouldn't be reaching out. And I just hope that helps. Like, if somebody is reaching out and you think they're the strong friend, they're reaching out. So remember that. Why are they reaching out if they're the strong friend? Because this is a little too much for them, or something that they need to really talk to someone about, or they need to vent about. So that labeling somebody as the strong friend, don't put that jacket on my back. I don't want to be the strong friend no more. Hey, hell, I barely want to be called resilient. I don't. I just want somebody to look at me and say, you know what? It looks like you got a lot on your shoulders today. Let me help you carry some of that. Let me help you make it lighter. It looks like your shoulders about to break from all of that weight you carrying around. Let me help you relieve some of that. That's what I would love. You know what I mean? That's exactly what I would love. And one day I may get it. One day I may not. You never know. But I still have hope about it. I still want it to happen. I still want it to be there. So either way it go, like, hey, it is what it is. One more thing with being strong. You know what I mean? Like, y'all know me. I be on social media strong with these videos because some of them be hitting home. Now, again, remember, I specifically said with women, I really don't like the word strong. And I'll play this video. And I just, again, I'm not misogynistic. I think I care so much about women. I just want to help y'all change. That's it. And some of these things y'all are saying are doing, it's like y'all are taking away from the characteristics of a woman. Like, you don't need to be independent. You don't need to be masculine. You don't need to, like, women are special in their own way for reasons. And the more you want to be a man, the more you're taking away and degrading women for that. And I don't like that shit. Don't ever take away from how powerful a woman is. Ever. So some of these things, it's like y'all are taking away that power of how powerful a woman is. And I don't like it. So, hold on. Let me get this video real quick. My bad. I was kind of got caught up in the talk. Where are we at? Here. Here we go. Oh, 1 second. Alrighty.
Please do not address me as a strong, independent black woman. It's not a compliment. I never hear a man that is raising children alone say, I'm mom and dad. He never becomes overly feminine because he's raising children. But we as women become overly masculine because we are raising children, because I'm mom and dad and I gotta do all these things, right? And now I put extra stuff on me and then I say, ain't nobody helping me. Well, nobody told you to do that. There is help available, all because I was trying to overcompensate for what daddy wasn't doing. I didn't have to be mom and dad. Now they got Mr. Chris and Mr. Eric over here. And I took them to be a part of different organizations because when you think of something strong, you do not think of coming to the aid of it. So when we are looked at and walk around as strong, what we're putting out is, I do not need assistance. I don't need your help. So anytime a man says, oh, I love it, you're so strong. I said, no, I'm not strong. I'm resilient. I'm not independent. I'm interdependent. Because nobody ever comes to the aid of the strong person. So when I'm around men, my wrists are broke.
And I love that. I love that she says it like that because at the very end is what really makes the bigger point for me. She said, when I'm around men, my wrists become broken. So in a way, what she just said was, oh, I'm perfectly capable of doing this, but I'm going to let that man do it for me. So even though I know I can do it, I'm going to let that man do it for me. I'm going to let him take care of it because that's something that he can do. That's something he should be doing, right? Simple as that. I also like the fact that she says that when you label something as strong, you don't think or you don't send help or aid for it because you just labeled it as strong. I love that because that's like the story of my life. I'm labeled as this strong person, and because of that, nobody ever stops to think, Marquand, you might need some help. Nobody. But it's okay, because Marquand has figured it out on his own. Like, I honestly feel like my children are my go-to people for stuff like that. You know how many times of the day my children tell me I'm the best dad, or they love me so much, or, they just give me all kind of love and affection and attention, and I love it. I really love it. I really think my kids do a great job of giving me some reassurance that I need and that I ask for, So I really love my kids for that reason. They do so much to make me realize that life will get to where it needs to be sooner or later. But until then, enjoy these moments. You know what I mean? Until then, enjoy these moments. So pay attention, because y'all all know what patterns look like. When it comes to, how do I say this? If you got a pattern with whether it's friends, family, associates, coworkers, relationships, whatever the case may be, when you see patterns of someone not taking your, I don't want to say mental, because it's not so much about mental, but when they are pretty much just like, fuck what you said, like, it is what it is. So if you got a friend that can never be accountable, and something happened and you try to point out to them that it was their fault, why? When you know they're not accountable, right? I've gotten to a point where doesn't matter whether it's friends, family, relationships, doesn't matter who it is that knows me or, has a relationship with me. I don't do that no more. If you can't be accountable, if you are still on the same shit. So for example, if you know me, and I don't know, what can I say? If you know that I only eat brioche bread, let's say if it's a woman of mine, I only eat brioche bread, but you come and make me a sandwich, I don't know, with some kind of bread with walnuts in it, I'm going to cuss you the fuck out. For one, I'm allergic to walnuts, and you know that. Two, this ain't even the type of bread I eat for my sandwiches, player. What other nigga you been around? That's how I'm going to take that. Simple as that. And I know that might have been a minor explanation or example to give, but I say that because I don't care what the pattern or what the style is or what the situation may be. When you see somebody is always going to be them and nothing is going to change about them, you either going to nip it in the bud right then and there, or you're going to stop dealing with them in a certain way. Like, fuck with them from a distance. Because I'm going to tell you, right, anytime I see somebody doing any action that they already know I don't like, I'm no longer in the mood to argue about nothing. I'm going to just get away from you. Call it a day. I'm at your house, I'm going to go home. You at my house, I'm going to ask you to leave. We out and about in public, I'm going to just leave. Like, I'm not about to sit here and keep going back and forth with you on something you already know I don't like. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. And especially with these people y'all have where you can catch them red-handed in something, and they just completely ignore and just completely make any excuse on what's going on instead of being accountable. Man, get them out your face. Like, just be real. Tell them to get away from you and deal with them from a distance. Simple as that. I'm no longer in the habit of letting somebody keep repeating the same toxic patterns that irritate me. It's not worth it anymore. I finally realized it's not worth it anymore. It really isn't. Another thing I do want to talk about with that is actually social media. Man, can we, just real quick, can we talk about the power of social media? I don't think so. I was talking to a coworker today, so this was a last minute subject that just kind of spurred on me, and I kind of took some things out for the Today Show to talk about this, but it wasn't nothing that didn't or couldn't wait. Okay, so y'all know, like, MySpace was invented in 2003, Facebook was invented in 2004, Twitter was invented in 2006. I think Black Planet was like 01 or 02, something like that. Whatever the case is, so on and so forth. I can go through them, all of them. But the original idea for social media was for you to interact with friends, family, old coworkers, old acquaintances, over a network to where you didn't have to be in the same city, same state, hell, even the same country, right? Social media was intended initially just for everyone to be social, to talk and hang out and, catch up. Long story short. Over the years, we have seen social media grow into more than just social media. We've seen it grow to where you can have Like, it allows businesses to build relationships with their customers, create engaging content that can help to drive brand awareness and loyalty. Social media platforms have also given rise to online communities where users can connect with others who share similar interests, hobbies, or experiences. Like advantages, you can increase your visibility, educate yourself, connect anytime. Of course, build relationships, of course, share your expertise like we just said previously. Social media has such a high influence, like what people. So it's a marketing term, which is social media influence. Of course, is a marketing term, right? We all know that, and it's an individual's ability to affect other people's thinking in a social online community. The more influence a person has, the more appeal that individual has to companies or other individuals who want to promote an idea or sell a product. So I say that because social media has gotten to this point where it has gotten away from what it was intended to do. I mean, we can still do that, but it has grown exponentially. I was saying earlier that I don't even think the government was able to understand how powerful social media could be. I said, we talked about a few things. I think if social media was around in the late 90s or like mid 90s to when things start happening, I think a lot of issues would have been debunked with social media. A lot of things that we thought was happening in the government would be debunked because social media is that well of an oiled machine. Like, social media will get to the bottom of anything if you give it to it. I say there's ups and downs because, for example, like the girl Gabby, I want to say, she would have never been found if it wasn't for social media, right? Never would have been found. And you got some things because of social media, like it probably shouldn't have been there. What I do have, though, is a pro and con list to social media that I want to go over and talk about really quick here before I get out of here. And I'm going to go, pro versus con, right? One and the other, give it hand in hand. So, like, anyone can publish their thoughts online. That's a pro, right? Because anybody can do it. But a con of social media is it can lead to addiction. And we all know people that are addicted to their phones, addicted to Twitter, Facebook, I made the statement that if somebody came in and every one of their social media accounts had got deleted or they got banned right then and there, I think they would lose it for a day or two before they realize they can make another one, start over, and fall in the rabbit hole again. Simple as that. And now, it is a free source of information, right? But it can also increase online bullying. That's a con to it. It can increase online bullying. Now, a pro is it can help us make social contacts, but it can lead to body image issues as well. So that's a con to it, is leading to body image issues. I like that the pro is it can help us make social contacts because I think social media is made for us to help one another level up and become bigger. Another pro is it lets people find their subcultural groups, which is great, especially if you're trying to find out about your history and your past, things like that. I think it's wonderful for that. But along with anything else on the internet, it can be misused to spread misinformation. And we all know that that's true. I think that's one of the biggest cons because people will sit there. Y'all ever seen a person share an article without reading it first to find out that it's either satire or it's fake or they got bits of the stories messed up? That's what it means by that. I love social media because it does allow the truth to get out. Like, don't get me wrong. Now that social media has gotten as big as it is, there's nothing you can really hide without social media doing their dirt, doing their research, and getting that shit either debunked or telling you the real story behind it. Now, it can affect interpersonal relationships, and that's a big one because some of y'all don't realize that, and it's just crazy. Like, some of y'all got a wide variety. Me, on the other hand, I am the way I am offline and online. So what my coworkers see at work is what they'll see on social media. Granted, every coworker don't have me on social media. But some of y'all will like let that get into it and like y'all act up on social media but expect these people not to go back to work and tell. It's just crazy. I mean, I wouldn't do that. But it can definitely affect interpersonal relationships in general outside of just working. It is an excellent communication tool, which I will agree to a certain extent. I think that it also takes away the risk of actual human connection and communication. I will say that as well. It can cause sleeplessness. And I understand that because it's a con, because some people would rather be in their phones and sit there, or be on their laptops or phones and sit there and actually just get some rest. It can help with self-development. I love that because you've got so many things going on, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, all these different videos that can help you kind of better yourself in a way without you worrying about having to go taking these courses in college or being on tour in person for this and stuff like that. I think it's great for it. But the also downside to it is, a con to that is, it can lead to leaks of private information. And, nobody wants their private information leaked at all. A pro to social media is it can help, be educational, but also it can be abused by its, employers. Like, y'all ever had a job and they went through your social media and that was the reason why you didn't get it? I've heard people say that before. And I mean, me, fortunately, I've never had to worry about that, but I've heard people say that before. It can help businesses to grow, which is great because every business wants to grow, but it can also increase stress, right? Some people get on social media and they feel like if they don't get enough likes or enough attention that they're like, oh, I'm not doing anything, or I'm not worth it, or I'm horrible, or I'm ugly, or whatever the case may be that you created in your own mind. But that's not the case. That's just social media playing tricks on your mind. It can improve career opportunities. I do think that's a given, especially if you're very talented with content creating and videos. You may find a job in that field that's on social media that will, better pay for you. It can, it can lead to laziness and helps people procrastinate. I fully agree with that one. I think social media has definitely, like I said before, taken away that actual human connection thing. I think it also takes away people thinking of how when they get up to go do stuff. Like, sometimes we used to get up and go to the library just to find out some information. Now we'll just sit on our phone and Google it. You can't believe everything on Google, by the way. Not everything. So I'll say that. It can help people stay in touch with news, but that's all kind of news, good and bad. So I don't know if that's really a pro or a con. I think it's a pro-con. See what I did there? But one of the cons to it is it leads to polarization of society, which we kind of knew that as well. Let me give you a few more pros, though. I don't want to make it seem like I'm just trying to be negative. It does support and encourages creativity. It is very entertaining. Now, you can earn money with social media, which is a bonus because some people can actually work and make a living from the work. And it can help disarm social stigma, and it stores unprecedented amounts of historical information. Now, the reason why I came to this pro and con list is because, social media examples include popular sites, like we said, such as Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, but also encompass other forms of online communication such as blogging and forums. So it plays a pivotal role in our lives, and most of us use it daily. However, despite social media's advantages, such as connecting with friends and family worldwide, potential disadvantages of social media should also be considered. So even though we have all these pros that we love about social media, let's not forget that social media has some cons to go with it as well. Sorry. On the positive side, it can help people stay connected. It can help people stay connected with friends and family. It can build relationships and follow news stories. Now, it can also be a great platform for self-expression, allowing you to showcase personal interests or talents. Yet, social media can be a hub for cyberbullying and other forms of online harassment. Moreover, it may lead to overindulgence, sidetracking from important tasks, as well as procrastination. Now, with me saying all of that and giving all those details, my personal opinion about social media is, yes, it can be a healthy form, a healthy place. But I think social media is so toxic these days because you have everybody looking at social media for their next move. You got women looking at it as, what do I need to do to be next? Let's not forget that back in the day, women would be furious. Women would be furious for their news to get leaked. But now you can subscribe to their OnlyFans for $3.99 and see all of them. Right? Back in the day, it used to be a crime for you to sit up there and, what do I say? What is it? How do you say this? To not go up to a woman and, as a man, ask her on a date, like an actual conversation. And now in today's society, you can do it through a DM, through a post, through a text message, whatever the case may be. And social media is a great tool and a great asset to have under your belt. But social media can also be a great tool and a great asset for your demise. I think a lot of people on social media don't really do their research. I hate that y'all will see one thing, run with it, and call it a day. Versus what you should be doing is checking your resources like every other person would normally do, because that's a smart thing to do. I don't ever want to walk into a conversation with misinformation. So I'm the first to always tell people, if I don't, you know what, I don't really know about that, or last time I checked this is what it was. Do you mind if I look it up to make sure? I just want to get the right information just like you do. I don't want to be lying to nobody, telling nobody what I think is going on, or creating my very own opinionated fact. I like that word because some of y'all take y'all opinions that are based, off of how you feel and think it's a fact, and that's never going to be the case. So that's something that needs to be worked on. All in all today, fellas, like I told y'all, man, accountability is great. Don't be afraid to hold it against them. Don't be afraid to hold it against people in general. Don't sit up here and do these duties of a husband without getting the duties of a wife mirrored back to you. I'm not saying that y'all can't do that for each other, but if you a man and you sitting there and doing all the things that a husband should do and she get mad at you for asking for small wife duties, step back a little bit. As a woman, if you're doing everything as a wife to show him you can be a wife, but he's doing the bare minimum to show you can be a husband, step back for a little bit. Start holding people accountable on how they treat you and how their actions affect you. Because it's not okay because they feel like it was all right for them that it was all right for you. It's just not. Make them understand that there's more than just one person in a situation that's affected by whatever's going on. And if you can't get them to understand that, if you can't get them to come to a simple realization of, comprehension, I just don't think y'all need to be around each other at all. If y'all choose to be around each other and go after that, you can't blame each other for what's going on. Don't blame anybody else. Don't blame each other. Blame yourselves and still deal with it. Because obviously y'all have the choice to leave it alone and y'all chose not to. Stop letting misery keep you in these situations you don't need to be and learn how to be happy. Whether that's by yourself, or with somebody else. Just don't do it. Me personally, I have a new standard to everything. There's no woman on this earth that'll be able to get past these boundaries without proving and showing me that it's worth me letting her in this gate. Nothing personal, nothing wrong with them, but y'all got some work to do. It is what it is. Simple story like that. However, y'all know I'm here every Wednesday on this wonderful, wonderful radio station. So definitely if you want to, Hot 702, let me move my head. Hot 702.5 FM. I'm here every Wednesday on this wonderful radio station, the hottest radio station on the planet, right? Every Wednesday at 5 p.m. to talk my shit. Oh, the time may be changing. Time or date. I will keep y'all updated within the next week or so on that. But I'll still be here every day talking my shit, as I do, or every week talking my shit. So if you need to follow me, don't forget Juss Quanni 23 on major social medias, or Juss Quanni by itself with Instagram and Twitter. Facebook is Mark Quan Thomas, or Quan Facebook Joe Thomas, either or, whatever you choose to get. You can also follow the business pages at Choose Your Character, and you spell choose with a Z, just like I spell is with a Z for talk is cheap. I always got to make sure I do it a little differently than everybody else, so I'm always trying to stand out, not stand in. So I'll catch y'all again next week at 5 p.m. on the hottest radio station on the planet, Hot 702.5 FM. So again, peace, love, and hair grease. I know y'all caught the sling in that little video, but it's all good. I'll catch y'all next week. Y'all be safe, and I love all y'all. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all week.